Time set for initial appearance. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you in some instances. You're here today on a couple of cases. One is out of Oracle Justice Court, and the other one is out of Marana Justice Court. So these cases are getting pretty old, sir. You need to take care of them. You're going to end up coming back into jail on these warrants. So I will allow you the opportunity to go on your own and take care of them. So I'm going to release you on your promise to appear. You need to get these done. Your next court appearance for the Oracle Justice Court matter is February 10th at 9 a.m. We're going to give you the address of the Justice Court when you on the paperwork that you received today.
Okay.
And then
Thank you.
we got one more for the Marana case. It's going to be 2 days later, February 12th at 10 a.m. in Marana City Court. We're going to give you that address as well. So make sure you get to those, and then that is all for today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So I'll be released today, is that?
Yes, you're released on both cases.
All right, so
All right.
thank you.
Thank you.
Right this way.
So,
Oh, does he? Oh, I didn't. Oh, okay. All right. Good morning, ma'am. Is your true name? Let's see here. This is not the same person here. What is your name, ma'am?
Desiree Marie Leon.
Okay, to the jail. She's number 8. Okay. So for the jail, are we going out of order? I was just kind of going on the order of the sheet that we got here.
We were going in the order of the sheet, Your Honor. So it was Warden and then Ms. Mayor.
You said she's number 8? Yes. Okay. What? Okay. All right, hold on just a second, ma'am. All right. So is your true name Desiree Marie Leon?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this
Yes, ma'am.
is a time set for an initial appearance. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you in this matter. You've been arrested on a failure to appear on a aggravated DUI from last year where you had an arraignment and you missed it. And then you're here on also misdemeanor domestic violence criminal damage charges. The state is recommending $5,000 bond on the DUI. Does council have a recommendation?
Your Honor, what I see here is a person who is on her 3rd DUI, has failed to appear for the better part of a year, if not more, is thumbing her nose at the system and is a danger to society. The alleged VAC, even without the retrograde, puts her at 0.278. This person, if left to her own devices, is eventually going to kill somebody in a DUI accident. State pushes for the $5,000 bond.
Thank you, counsel.
May I just consult quickly with Ms. Leon?
Sure.
Thank you.
Only lights, I swear to God.
You're just discussing with Ms. Leo, and it looks like this was a case, the felony matter was dismissed and then recharged. It seems like she missed the summons, so she was not aware that it had been recharged. She's expressed that she absolutely will now, understanding that the case has been recharged. She has to address it, would show up to court. She has a family in Tucson that she can consult with. We would ask if this court is going to impose a bond. She said the most she has is a few $100s, that the court not exceed $1,000 bond.
I really didn't know how to word.
Leon, but I do agree with the state that you are a risk to the community based on the number of DUIs that you've had and the incident here. You also have the domestic violence charge. So I'm going to order that you be held on $5,000 cash or secured bond. Pretrial services if posted. Your next court appearance is January 9th at 1:30 p.m. for an arraignment in Pima County Superior Court. You are not to drive without a valid license, consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, and do not drink and drive.
I wasn't, and I didn't know how.
And then, ma'am, on the misdemeanor case that involved your former spouse and son, I'm going to order that you be held on $500 cash. Your next court appearance is January 3rd at 1 p.m. in front of Judge Chavez, Pima County Justice Court. Your attorney is Janet Alt-Schuler for that case. You are to consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons. At this point in time, your family does indicate that they do not object to having contact with you. So you're allowed to have contact with them.
Are they there?
Thank you, ma'am. That's all for today.
Yeah.
Your Honor, this is Court Interpreter Pedro Davis.
Good morning.
I don't see any Spanish speakers on this morning's list of people to be seen.
I do not see any either.
Can the interpreter be excused?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Mayor, please stand up.
Your Honor, we're returning back to misdemeanors.
Wanna go around the petition?
I'm not sure. I have
Oh, right.
I have a list here, but I don't know if they're going to go in that order. So we'll see who comes up next. All right. Good morning, sir. Is your true name Joaquin Andrew Escamilla?
Jake and Andrew Escamilla.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Escamilla. This is a time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on several charges of domestic violence, disorderly conduct. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. In some instances, if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Sir, I am going to allow you to be released on your promise to appear based on your lack of history here and your family. It does appear is not objecting to having contact with you at this point in time, so I'm not going to order no contact. Your next court appearance is February 3rd at 10:30 a.m. in front of Judge Garza, Pima County Justice Court. If you fail to appear, a warrant could issue for your arrest. You are to consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, and possess no firearms or weapons. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Just to clarify, so there is no NCO out, and I am clear to talk to any of my family members, correct?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't understand what you said.
So just to clarify, I am able to speak to any of the family members in the household and go back to that household.
It does appear that they have not indicated to the court that you're not. I would allow you to have that contact, but understand that they can revoke that at any time. If they do not feel that they wish to have contact, they can let the court know and you won't be able to have contact. For now, I don't have that information. So yes.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Your Honor, you said that was February 3rd at 10 a.m.?
Correct.
What did?
10:30.
Okay.
Okay. Am I good to leave, Your Honor?
Yes, that's all for today. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Good morning, sir. Is your true name Richard Paul Escudero?
Yes.
All right, this is the time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on shoplifting and trespass charges, and you're also here on several older cases of shoplift where you have failed to appear. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I am going to appoint Janet Altschuler of OCAC to represent you. Sir, I'm going to order that you be held on $500 cash bond on each of these cases. Your next court date for all of these matters, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, is January 3rd at 1 p.m. Pima County Justice Court, Judge Chavez. You are ordered to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs and do not return to the incident locations involved in these cases. Do you understand?
Yeah, so I gotta, I, that work,
I didn't hear what you said.
so what do I do?
He was just estimated his court date, Your Honor, and you said that was 1/3, so it's tomorrow afternoon.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, you're just gonna go to this address at this date, so it's tomorrow afternoon.
So when I get out, what do I do?
Just make sure that you show up soon. You'll get a phone number. Janet Altschuler, she's an OCAC attorney, so you'll get a phone number. And then you can give her a call when you can, but most importantly, make sure you're at this address, this date, time, and everything.
Okay, so I show up there at night at 1 o'clock?
At 1 p.m. on 1/3. So tomorrow.
Okay, so when I get out,
So tomorrow, make sure by tomorrow afternoon, try to get there maybe 12:30, just so you have some time, and then, find.
yeah,
So just find her name, you'll be able to find them. Or live in there.
okay, released on this.
On $500 bond. So if you post, you'll be released otherwise.
So go actually, I'm staying here.
You're staying in.
Grace. No, the other way, the other way. That way.
Good morning, ma'am. Is your true name Michelle Stephanie Ruiz?
Yes.
All right, this is the time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on charges of domestic violence, disorderly conduct. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney in some instances. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. So Ms. Ruiz, it looks like you have, let's see here, charges out of Saurita for domestic violence from 2022. You also have new domestic violence charges here recently. So I am going to appoint Gary Grinkwich to represent you in the Saurita case because it's so old. I'm going to order that you be held on $500 bond. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons, no contact with the alleged victims in that case or their residence or workplace. Your court date is January 3rd, which is tomorrow at 3 p.m. And then in the new case, Tucson City Court case, I am going to order that you be held on $500 cash bond. Your next court date is January 8th at 1:45 p.m. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons. The victim in the case, your boyfriend, does not want any further contact, so I'm going to order no contact with the victim. Do not go to the victim's residence or workplace. If you do reside there, you may return one time with law enforcement to retrieve personal belongings. I am going to appoint the city public defender to represent you in that matter. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes.
All right, that's all for today.
Thank you.
Wait.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir. Is your true name Timothy Lee Runyon?
It's Timothy Allen Runyon.
Timothy Allen Runyon?
Yeah,
All right. So, do we want to just make a note of that? It says Lee. All right, so we'll make a note of that in our system, sir. This is the time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on charges of domestic violence, disorderly conduct. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you in some instances. So, sir, based on your lack of history here, I am going to allow you to be released on your promise to appear. Your next court date is February 3rd at 10:30 a.m. in Pima County Justice Court in front of Judge Garza. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons. You are to have no contact with the alleged victims. Do not go to the victim's residence and work. You may return one time with a police escort to pick up any belongings, and that is the request of the victims. Do you understand?
yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir.
Good morning, sir. Is your true name John Ahern?
Yes, it is.
All right, this is the time set for an initial appearance. Been arrested on charges of driving under the influence of liquor or drugs, also failure to comply with an order and possession of drug paraphernalia and liquor in a passenger vehicle. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. In some instances, if you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Sir, I am going to allow you to be released on your promise to appear. Your next court date is February 3rd at 9:30 a.m. in front of Judge Verena, Tucson City Court for an arraignment. You are to not drive without a valid license. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, and you are to not drink and drive. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All right, that's all for today.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, ma'am. Is your true name Rosara Finley?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, this is the time set for an initial appearance. You have been arrested on charges of criminal trespass first degree and domestic violence disorderly conduct. We're also here on a failure to appear for a trespass charge from 2023. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You do have the right to be represented by an attorney. In some instances, if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Ma'am, I am going to appoint the the Tucson City Public Defender to represent you. I'm going to order that you be held on $500 cash bond. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, no contact with the alleged victim in the case. Do not go to the victim's residence or workplace or the incident location of the trespass. You may return one time with law enforcement to retrieve personal belongings. Your court date for both cases is January 8th at 1:30 p.m. in front of Judge Million. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. I don't have. All right. All right. Good morning, sir. Is your true name Sarah Satino Natezadayo?
Lizzie Gayo.
Okay.
Lizzie.
Good morning.
Your Honor, Lizzie Gayo.
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Is it morning?
This is a
I
time.
didn't know it was morning.
Let me finish, sir. Morning.
Sorry.
It is morning. This is a time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on multiple charges of criminal damage, assault, domestic violence, 3 counts. You're also arrested on several charges of disorderly conduct. 2, 3, 4, 5 charges, 7 charges of disorderly conduct from 2 different dates. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I am going to appoint the city Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm going to order that you be held on $500 cash bond. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons, no contact of any kind with the alleged victims in this case, or their residence or workplace. And you may not return to the incident location of the disorderly conduct. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's all for today. Good morning, sir. Is your true name Adrian Jesus Prieto?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. This is a time set for an initial appearance. You are here on it looks like a probation violation warrant out of Tucson City Court for charges of disorderly conduct, domestic violence, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. These are cases that you are on probation for. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I am going to appoint the city public defender to represent you in this matter. I'm going to order that you be held on $24.99 cash or secured bond. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons, no contact with the victims or victims' residence or workplace. Your next court date is January 15th at 1:30 p.m. in front of Judge Million. Do you understand, sir?
So I have to post that bond, the whole thing, to get out, to release this. what is it, 2020,
2199, yes. So this one's going 500.
500?
Basically 2,500.
Is it 500? Okay. All right, thank you.
Good morning, sir. Is your true name Mark Anthony Rivers?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is the time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on charges of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and domestic violence assault. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Sir, I am going to allow you to be released on your promise to appear, but there's several release conditions that are going to be included here. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. You are to commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons. You are to have no contact of any kind with the alleged victim in this case, or the victim's residence or workplace. You may return one time with a police escort to retrieve any personal items. Your next court date is January 28th at 3 p.m. for an arraignment in front of Judge Million. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that's all for today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's do it.
Good morning, ma'am. Is your true name Chelsea Talley or Chelsea Wilkes?
Wilkes is, excuse me, Wilkes is my maiden name. Tally is my married name.
Okay. All right. So do you go by your married name?
Yes.
Okay. All right. This is the time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on charges of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and fighting, theft, control of property. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney in some instances. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. So, ma'am, I am going to allow you to be released on your promise to appear. Your next court hearing is January 28th at 3 p.m. Let's see here. And that's in front of Judge Million. In front of Judge Million, Tucson City Court. There's several conditions of release that you need to comply with. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons. Your spouse has indicated that he would like to have contact with you and return to your home. So I'm not going to prevent that contact. And if he does not wish to have that contact in the future, you do have to abide by that. But for now, he's indicated that he does. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, that's all for today.
So I'm released to go home.
Yes. Yep.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Ms. Chetwood?
Let's see. Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. Is your true name Belinda Starr Chitwood?
Yes,
Okay. And you also go by Shoemaker?
yes, Chipwood's my married name.
Chitwood's your married name. Okay. All right. This is a time set for initial appearance. You've been arrested on a charge of aggravated DUI. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I will go ahead and appoint the Pima County Legal Defender's Office to represent you in this matter. What's the state's recommendation, Neil?
Your Honor, what I'm seeing on Ms. Starr. Your Honor, we're looking at another situation where there are multiple DUIs. 2,500. This one doesn't have the long gap, unlike the previous one. So the state believes this person is a risk to the community. 2,500 plus pretrial.
Thank you. Mr. Preminger, do you have a recommendation for release?
No, I speak with Ms. Chitwood just very quickly.
Sure.
I think that's enough. So, Your Honor, Ms. Chitwood just confirmed that she would be able to have transportation arranged should this court give her the opportunity to be released. Obviously, she does have history with previous DUIs. She has no other criminal history. She understands that there would be absolutely no driving if she were to be released. It also looks like she has not had an issue making it to court. So we would ask for release under pretrial supervision services. In the alternative, if this court does impose a bond, we would ask that it not exceed $1,500.
All right. So, Ms. Chitwood, I am going to find that you're a risk to the community based on the allegations in the interim complaint and the pretrial workup and your priors. I'm going to order that you be held on $5,500 cash or secured bond, pretrial services supervision if posted. Your next court date is your preliminary hearing, January 13th at 1:30 p.m. in Pima County Justice Court. You are to not drive without a valid license, consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, and do not drink and drive. Do you understand?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
After call them back in.
Right now, but as soon as you can, within the next day or two, you should call.
The bell, the cash, not the bell outside.
I mean, if you can post it, then, whenever you can, post it, but we'll be able,
About my information.
to make a call for this. Try to call some other things, they can get you with it, and then also you will be charged upon their attorneys. If you know their attorney, they might be able to help you get in touch with this. That's their office, so if you give them your name, they'll get back there.
Yes.
Good morning, sir. Is your true name Puran Dana Fluellen?
Yes, ma'am.
This is a time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on charges of aggravated assault, domestic violence, and kidnapping domestic violence. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you in this matter. The state is recommending that a place. Neil, anything else to add?
Your Honor, this is only 5,000 because this doesn't look to have been a romantic or sexual relationship. There are allegations of strangulation, which makes it particularly concerning, as well as 2 times probation revocation in the past, as well as a significant FTA. He is a flag for a new violent crime. So at least 5,000 plus pretrial.
What?
Thank you. Stem?
Judge, can I speak with Mr. Fluon very briefly, Mr. Fluon very briefly?
Sure.
So, Your Honor, Mr. Fluellen is requesting release based primarily on his maintaining that he's not guilty of the accused offense. He does have some criminal history, although it seems it's primarily for marijuana possession. He resides up in Maricopa. He understands that if he were released, he would have to come down to Pima for his court. Do note a recent FTA, but he understands the circumstances. So, Your Honor, we would ask that he be released under pretrial supervision in the alternative of bonds not exceeding $2,000, as he wouldn't be able to afford the $5,000 bond.
Thank you.
Your Honor? The state would be remiss if it didn't clarify that the defendant's history, other than is an ag assault on a law enforcement officer from 2019. So there is a history of violence here.
Thank you, Mr. Whiston. So, Mr. Flewellen, I am going to order that you be held on $5,500 cash or secured bond. Pretrial services if posted based on the nature of the allegations and your history here and the pretrial services workup. Your next court date is January 13th at 1:30 p.m. in Pima County Justice Court for a domestic violence preliminary hearing. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons. You're going to be monitored by pretrial services. You are to have no contact with the alleged victim in this case. Do not go to the alleged victim's residence or workplace. If you reside there, you may return with a police escort to pick up your belongings. Do you understand?
Yeah, but
That's for today.
this is all like this.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Which office was appointed?
PD, public
PD?
defender. Mhm.
Hold on.
But I'm not allowed to get out until I post bond.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't even have any cash like there.
I understand. Give the PD's office.
This is all like false allegations.
You haven't been convicted of anything, or just it's also hasn't been indicted yet, but just give the PD a call.
So I will get out.
Well, hopefully I can't say.
Good morning, sir. Is your true name Dean Lynch?
Good morning, Your Honor. Yes.
This is a time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on charges of domestic violence, disorderly conduct with a weapon. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you in this matter. And Neil, what's the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, the state recommends $5,000 plus pretrial services. The defendant is alleged to have, during the course of a DV dispute, retrieved a weapon and then recklessly displayed the firearm, extorting the other party apparently with phrases such as, "Do you want me to kill myself?" And based on this, Your Honor, the state believes he's a danger to himself or others and danger to the community. He escalated on his dispute unnecessarily by introducing a firearm to the equation, endangering everybody around him. 5,000.
Thank you. Sam?
Can I consult with Mr. Lynch very briefly?
This is a continuation from last night.
Right, so it's
And I have alternative counsel.
again, from who was that with?
Your Honor, we're asking for Mr. Lynch to be released to pretrial services. He has no felony or a misdemeanor criminal history. It looks like this initial appearance has been continued for him to try to secure housing apart from where the incident location was. It sounds like he has confirmed that he could reside with his brother in Pima County. He also does work full-time at the railroad, and he's expressed that it is pretty urgent that he return to work. Obviously, the allegation is serious, although I think the primary threat here was to himself. But he understands that he would absolutely not be allowed to be possessing a firearm should he be able to be released. In the alternative, we would ask for a bond not exceeding $1,000, just in consideration of this being his first allegation at 57, and that he does have alternative housing.
Thank you, counsel. So, Mr. Lynch, based on this allegation, and it's extremely concerning, I am going to find that you're a danger to yourself and others. I'm going to hold you on $5,000 cash or secured bond, pretrial services if posted. Your next court date is January 13th at 1:30 p.m. in Pima County Justice Court. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons, surrender your firearms. You're going to be monitored by pretrial services if you post the bond. You are to have no contact with the alleged victim in this matter, or the alleged victim's residence or workplace. I understand this is your fiance. If you do reside there, you may return one time with a police escort to pick up your belongings. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All right, that's all for today. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, which office was appointed?
That was the public defenders.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Is your true name Brandon Knowles?
Yes.
This is a time set for an initial appearance. You have been arrested on charges of criminal trespass in the first degree, domestic violence. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I will appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you in this matter. And then we also have to talk about your misdemeanor matters, which is criminal trespass, criminal damage, and disorderly conduct, domestic violence. The state is recommending that you be held on bond. Sam?
Can I speak with Mr. Knowles very quickly, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Your Honor, does the court require the state make an entry, make their case on this one, or are you going in the written record?
You can make your statement. I think let's wait for Sam so he can hear you. Go ahead. I think he's done talking.
Sorry, we're ready, sir.
Your Honor, the state's asking for $7,500. This is according to the complaint, the defendant is alleged to have started kicking the door, trying to kick it open at the residence of a former girlfriend with whom he has multiple children in common. This is not the first time he has had a DV case involving this same victim. He has a prior DV ag assault with the same victim, as well as I noted a history of failures to appear. The state believes he is a risk to the victim as well as the children, 7,500 plus PTS.
Thank you. Sam?
So Your Honor, Mr. Knowles, he disputes that there's a previous failure to appear. It looks like it's at least over a decade old if it did occur. I would also note that his priors have been designated misdemeanors, so he's done well with the support of probation. I think if released, which is what he's requesting, he could benefit from the support of pretrial services. It was noted from pretrial that the alleged victim is requesting his release as well. Mr. Knowles understands if released, he may be ordered to have no contact with the alleged victim, and he agrees to abide by that. He's explained that also that he is employed at Walmart. He is desperate to get back to work so he doesn't lose that job. So for those reasons, we would request that he be released under pretrial services. If this court does find that a bond is absolutely necessary, we would ask that it not exceed $1,500.
Thank you. So, Mr. Knowles, based on the nature of these allegations, I'm going to find that you're a threat to the victim in this case. I'm going to order that you be held on $7,500 cash or secured bond, pretrial services if posted. You are to have no contact with the alleged victim or her residence or workplace. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons. Your next court date is January 13th at 1:30 p.m. in Pima County Justice Court for a preliminary hearing, a DV preliminary hearing. In your city court matter, stemming out of the same case, I am going to order that you be held on $500 cash bond. Same release conditions apply, including no contact with the alleged victim. City public defender is appointed to represent you. Your next court date for that case is January 8th at 1:30 p.m. in front of Judge Million. Do you understand, sir?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, and the felony matter, is it the PD, the LD that's been appointed?
Public Defender's Office. Do we have? Oh, okay. All right, sir, is your true name Raimundo Banuelos? I think you guys are muted.
Yes.
All right, good morning, sir.
Yes.
Good morning. This is
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Good morning. Happy New Year's.
Well, thank you, sir. Same to you. This is the time set for a review hearing. There is a warrant out of Maricopa County Superior Court for several charges: discharging a firearm at a structure, unlawful discharge of a firearm, and disorderly conduct. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney in some instances. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. So, sir, today is a review hearing. We're going to just go ahead and set a bond. These are old charges, and we have to resolve your new charges, which are here in Pima County, before Maricopa County can come and retrieve you. So we'll set a $10,000 cash or secured bond. We're going to review your case again February 3rd at 9 a.m. here in Justice Court. if your case is resolved and Maricopa County can come and get you. Do you understand?
Yes, I do, but I have a job and I have my son and my wife. I didn't know about this court date that I never got any paperwork for it. If not, I would have gone.
I understand, but
Yeah.
Maricopa County has placed a hold on you. They want us to hold you. So we're going to go ahead and do that. They're going to come and get you as soon as your local charges are resolved. I'm not sure what those are, but I'm assuming you have an attorney and that those will be taken care of.
There's no way I can get released.
Not unless you post the bond, sir.
I need to get back to my job and my wife and son. Like I wasn't doing anything bad. Like
Sir, I appreciate that, but anything you say here can and will be used against you. We have a prosecutor on the line, so I would advise you not to speak about anything relating to your case. You can post the
Yeah.
bond of 10,000 cash is secured. Okay?
okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, that concludes our initial appearances.